me, you got a lot of crazy people that surround you, and I'm not one of them. I got a lot in here that I got to do, just like you. Oh.
Now that we have.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's time? Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ori. It is Monday, and I had something written down. I have a schedule, but I also got a lot of shit going on in my head, so I don't remember what my topic was for today. But I promise that I'm not going to talk about it today. I'll definitely talk about it next week and then move the other one to the following week. Now, one of the most important things that I realized in the past 3 days in having conversation with clients, in looking back at my own life and sitting back and enjoying good moments, and then all of a sudden being taunted and haunted by memories of the past that were so violent and so vile. And I found myself being transported back into this dimension where I used to live in and complained about things. Okay. And I want to talk to you about this, and I want to reiterate, and I want to continue to talk about it so that you guys can finally understand how I view things. Now, one of the things I can tell you is you have to learn never to look back. Look at what happened to Saul's wife, and Sodom and Gomorrah. The angels destroyed the city, and they specifically gave directions not to look back. And of course, she was mundane. She was, of the world. And she was, not that she wasn't a good wife, but she wanted to see. So she turned around and she turned into a pillar of salt. I'm not saying that you guys are going to turn into a pillar of salt. What I want you to understand is that by looking backwards, you create your biggest trap. Okay. Now, if you want to get technical, the devil is busy. Okay. And the mind is like the devil. Okay. So if you continue to look back, you will never be able to move forward. And even if you move forward, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Even if you start to look forward, you're not looking forward. You're talking about the future. God is in the now. God is not in the yesterday or in the tomorrow. God is now, in the present, right now, when you need him to be. There are things that will be that will block your attention from keeping you to move forward. Things that have been implanted in you, whether by family, whether by friends or foe or relationships, where these things are planted in your head that you're either slow, you're either incapable of handling this, you're unable to do the right thing. Trust me, people want to kick my ass all the time because I forget shit, but guess what? I have a perfectly good excuse, and it's not an excuse that I drag with me because I became the condition. I am bipolar. I take medication. So at the end of the day, if I take the medication and sometimes you forget things, or sometimes it stalls, stays for a minute, and then, which is what the brain is taught to do when there's a crisis or when something traumatic happens. The brain is taught to just shut down, and sometimes you just forget. So I'm not talking about the past thing. I'm talking about the present, but I'm also talking about things that I have that I'm working on right now, which are like 5 projects at the same time. And it's not been easy, but I've been taking it easy. Okay, now, sometimes when we're with someone, we start to think about them and we start to feel sorry for them, and we stay in a situation because we feel bad. We feel sorry for them, or we try to sympathize with them and empathize with them. For what? For what? What are you gonna achieve with that? What are you achieving with that? What are you gonna do with that? And how is that going to help you? Okay. If somebody was broke when you met him, and when you're with him, he's broke, then he's going to be broke without you. And I don't mean just broke with money, broken. If a person is broken, unless you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist, don't take it upon yourself thinking that you can heal that person and you're going to make that person live in the now with you. It's not going to happen. And if you don't get out of something, then you're self-sabotaging yourself. You don't need to think about anybody but yourself. You have to also look at life this way. If you're 30 or 40 years old, you're 30 or 40, you can't be 20. You already were 20. So you're 30 or you're 40, be happy, or 50. Be happy with that. Stop complaining about what you don't have. I don't have a man. I don't know why. I've asked God and God hasn't brought it to you. But guess what? If you're carrying a lot of animosity for shit that happened to you 10, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 2 years ago, and you haven't let that go, and I'm not talking about forgiveness. I'm just saying let it go. Move on. And if you're not living in the today, then you know what? You're in your own mind trap. You need to start thinking that you deserve to be in the now. In some instances, and I wrote this down just so I don't lose my way. In some instances and experience, people keep experiencing the same thing. So you try to go back. You try to go back with old friendships. You can have, and I have had many friendships that were 10, 15, 20, 30 years old, whatever. And yeah, they may say, oh, well, it was your fault. But you know what? I did, with what I had going on in my life, I did the best that I could to try to help people that have walked out of my life and people that I've walked out. But I've been around people that I've known for a long time that we never had a problem. And then as I start talking to them, I realize that we have nothing in common. We have nothing to really socialize with. And I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they agree with. They may not agree with the fact that of who I am or what I do. And you know what? Then that's okay. Keep moving. Why? Because I outgrew that friendship. It's a reason for seasons. So I outgrew that. Family members that basically are like a bump in the log. Family members that play no part in your life. Let that go, because it's all part of keeping you stagnant and keeping you not moving forward. And, unfortunately, in society, sometimes I tell my friends this, that are girls or people that call me to get reading. I tell them, for a person who dislikes their mama so much, you actually become just like her. And that's what happens. Sometimes you become what you dislike the most. So that also has to do with the past, because 9 out of 10, she's probably stuck in her past, and 9 out of 10, you're stuck in your past with her. So then you become comfortable in that situation and you continuously stay there. So you make peace because you feel that it's the thing to do. You start forgiving because you believe that that is what you're taught to do, so you have to forgive. Well, guess what? The devil is busy all the time. So although people may give you the advice to let go, like I'm telling you, and may say, oh, well, you know what, or maybe try to work it out or whatever. If you're a person in the outside looking in, you're in the outside looking in. I will be in the outside looking in, and I'm giving you advice because Spirit is guiding me. But at the end of the day, I'm not inside of you. I don't live with you. I'm not with you 24 hours a day. So at the end of the day, you have to make these decisions for yourself. You can't have someone who had a messed up childhood or had a fucked up marriage tell you that you are unable, that you have to let go when they didn't let go. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. So you know what? Sometimes you need to sit down and sometimes you need to analyze, why are you staying stuck? See, because if you're holding on to things that have hurt you, you want a job, but you're complaining about how this and that and how you can't find the right one and you can't do this. Well, guess what? You're never going to find the right one if you don't look. You're never going to know what you need to do unless you stay still with yourself and be still and constantly ask yourself and just be in silence so that you can get ideas, because we are all talented. We're all multi-talented. Not every person has just one talent. You know, many people have many talents and people came here to do different things. And I've said this before, but this is a little different, okay? Now, many people continue to hold on, even to old friendships that no, they didn't work back then. Why hold on to them? Old relationships, if they didn't work by then and you were with them then and you're not, why do you even do that? Why do you do that to yourself? Why do you continue to try to make a good situation and make it a bitter situation by gravitating to your past? Your past is your past. And if you've moved on for it, you should just continue to move on and keep going forward. And if you can't do that, then obviously you're not ready to start over. You're not ready to live an abundant life because you're so busy. You're so easily swayed by staying in one direction, going in the same box over and over and over and keep outlining it. So what are you really doing? You're not really doing anything that's conducive for yourself. What you're doing is you are holding on to old memories of something that could or could not have been, and you're trying to go backwards and tell yourself you're not doing it that way, but in reality you are. So you have to think about the things that you do, because maybe this relationship didn't destroy you, or the past relationship didn't fully destroy you, but maybe this one will. And for people out there, both men and women, who would tell me, well, you don't really understand because this person is a good person. Guess what? Lucifer's name is light. Lucifer is light, the light bringer. And Lucifer was one of the most beautiful angels that God created. But he is a devil, a wolf in sheep's clothing. And so are many people. So if you cannot tell the difference between a wolf and a sheep, then you got problems. And that's where the problem lies. The problem lies in you not being able to decipher what is right and what is wrong for you. There's nothing more dangerous. It is the time to move on. And the reason that it is one of the most dangerous times is because when you move on, there's a lot of pain with that. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of tears and fears, because you have to move forward. And in your mind, you're like, but why am I constantly moving forward? Well, if you were moving backwards all the time, then you will be hitting the gutter all the time. So you have to think about the now. Think about the God that is your God, the God of abundance, the God of creation, the God of light and positive energy, the God that lives within you now at this particular moment. You know, I know that there are many people that I have stopped talking to because of things that they've said about me or said to me that have offended me. And if they really know me, you really know, and you really know me, you will understand that I'm a very vindictive person. I don't really forgive because I'm not Jesus and I'm not God, and I'm not trying to forgive the world. I'm not trying to forgive it so that I can be forgiven. No. I will be forgiven the day that I meet my maker and him and I can conversate and I'll tell him why I did what I did. But until then, I don't really give a shit about anybody's opinion. I'm only worried about now. I'm only worrying about what I can do now, right now, in my life to obtain things that I've wanted that I could have had, but I wasn't ready or the time was not right. And that's why I'm telling you that you cannot harbor in that pain because it's familiar to you. The person is familiar. So because he's familiar, he feels good. Or because this person is nice to me, then, I remember when she was my friend, years ago, we were really good friends. But you know what? Then you pull away from each other for 20 years and you talk and everything seems to be fine. But then down the line, you realize I've been friends with a fucking monster. So the key is, when are you going to understand that going backwards is not healthy? People laugh at me and people say, I can't believe that you are the way that you are and you're so cold or whatever. Well, guess what? I believe in giving you the benefit of the doubt from day one. And I will always give you the benefit. Anybody that knows me knows I will give you the benefit of the doubt the first time I meet you. So from the time that you meet me, you have the benefit of the doubt. I don't judge. I don't look. I don't answer. I just go with the flow. But the minute you screw me, or the minute you lie about me, or the minute you cause a problem for me, you cause pain and sorrow or something, I would just stop talking to you. Because what's the sense of being around you and trying to fix a problem that I know is never going to change? You're always going to be the same. If you're a dick, you're always going to be a dick. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the person grows older and you feel like, oh, well, you know what? This situation is different because, we were young. It doesn't matter. You walked away from that situation and now you want to rekindle something that feels normal to you. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? What are you doing? Why are you going in that direction? If you see yourself moving forward in other things, wouldn't you want to see the outcome of moving forward completely, not just halfway? I think that with everything that's going on in the world right now, people really need to understand that using a man for being the father of your children or using a woman for being the mother of your children as an excuse to stay in something toxic, that's a poor excuse. That's a very poor excuse. Excuse me. If you've already lived through that once or twice in your life, why do you keep going back to that same toxic energy? And if you're dating someone and you've been with somebody who's constantly living in the past about things that happened, and you're constantly talking about the things that happened and the things that didn't happen and why it happened, guess what? You're stuck. You're stuck like a dodo bird. You're not going anywhere. You're not moving anywhere. Things are not going to change the way that you are, the way that you want, because you're too busy repeating the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over. I said it once, I'll tell you it again, I'll say it a million times. I used to live on Sadness Row. I used to live on Depression Avenue. And at the end of the day, I don't feel any of those things anymore. So what changed? Well, what changed was the way I saw things, the way I allowed people to talk to me, the way that I allow people to interact with me. If I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. If I'm not mad at you or you're mad at somebody else, don't take out your problems on me if I have nothing to do with what's going on in your life. If you can't get your shit together right now at this moment and stop what is bothering you, stop the triggers in your life, then you know what? Don't come to me with that, because I've analyzed every trigger in my life, every problem that I've been through, every sadness that I've been through, why, every relationship that never was. And then to this day, why don't I date? It's not that I don't want to date. It's just that I know what I don't want in my life. And I don't want anybody who is in a lower status than me. And I'm saying that I'm rich, because I'm not. But I refuse to be with anyone who doesn't have any type of importance to them, who doesn't have any goals or desires to want better, and not get stuck in this whole, well, you know what, I'm grateful and satisfied with what I have. No, why would you want to be satisfied with what you have? Why not want more? Why not believe that you're capable of having more? We have a God of abundance. So why feel like you're stuck? Because that's an old mentality. That's not a new mentality. That's an old mentality. That's why you keep going back and forth. Now, when you enter in the negative, and you enter into the negative entities of what you want, what you're doing is you're opening the door to ignorance. And I also lived on Ignorance Avenue at one point in my life. I think we all have a little bit of ignorance inside of us, but a lot of us have a lot of ignorance inside of us. So would you work on peace, and you meditate, and you want peace and you want harmony, but yet you're in a toxic relationship, or you keep going backwards? So at the end, what are you doing? You're not fixing you. You're trying to fix everyone else from your past in your life, that's been in your life from the past, that has never changed, has never moved forward, has never done anything productive. And you're still there, feeling sad, feeling miserable, feeling like, what the F? Why? You don't need to feel that way. One thing that God gave us was choice. We have the choice to say no. We have the choice to walk away and say, listen, I love you. And because I love you, I need to walk away from you. Because although I love you, I love myself more. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with walking away with a clean heart and a focused mind. And although it would be painful, these are things that you have to let go of. So if you're a woman and your whole life, you have been a strong, dominant woman, and you've dated men, and you dated men, and you dated men, and you forget who you were when you were younger, and you drink or you party, and you were a mother first, and then you were a woman first, and then a mother second, because that is when a person grows up without a mother, they don't really know what it is to be a mother. When a person doesn't grow up with a father, or they grow up with a father that's abusive, they either become abusive or they change the abuse pattern and become loving to their children. Either way, those are things that some of us carry with us. We carry the pain and the burdens that our families put on us, that our friends put on us, that people put on us, because they're so busy complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. You know what? At one point, I used to complain about money because I was so fearful of I had lost so much of losing. Now I don't care. I've lost so much in this lifetime that God has been great and the universe has been great. So I profoundly get everything that I ask for because I am grateful and I live in gratitude of the universe because the universe provides for me every single day from different directions and from different people. So if I spend $200 today, I swear to you, within 2 hours or less, I will have the 200 and something dollars to put the $200 back. So God is good all the time. The universe is vast. The universe holds keys and it starts to open doors for you when you start applying the law of attraction the right way. But if you pull the law of attraction thinking that the law of attraction is going to brought this person into your life because this person was good to you and da 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 da, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. That's not the law of attraction. That's your mind. That's you. That's your thought. That's all you. So if you decide to go backwards, whether it's a friendship that screwed you over, whether it's a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, whatever it is, it's from your past, an old friend, let it go. Move forward. If in the time frame you didn't speak to them, you did not need them. Why do you need them now? Why? And if you tell me, well, I need to speak to them and they're good listeners, you know what? Go to a psychiatrist, go to a therapist. I love therapy. Go to therapy. You can talk about all your problems. They'll listen. They get paid to listen to your shit. So go to therapy. But don't use that as an excuse because at the end of the day, there is no other side of the rainbow. There is not. You're going to climb the ladder of the rainbow and you're going to slide and fall on your ass in the same spot you're in. So it is very important that you really analyze what exactly it is that you want to do, how you want to do it, and you need to structure yourself so that everything that you want to achieve can be achievable. By what? By moving forward. Moving forward. Moving forward is very important because one of the things that we also forget is that we are having a war within ourselves. Some of us are having a war with our emotions. Some of us are having a war with our bodies. Some of us are having wars with pain and sorrow that our bodies are putting us through. Some of us are going through wars of depression. Some of us are going through wars of feeling lonely. But if you really think about it and if you've done everything in your power to try to heal yourself, medical wise, then it's time for you to start looking outside the medical field and start looking into what our ancestors did, which was go to natural medicine. If you walk around always feeling sorry for yourself because you feel so lonely, loneliness is a state of mind. If you feel lonely, what are you contributing? What is the contributing factor that you're contributing in here to make you feel lonely? There's a saying that says there's a lid for every pot. And I believe that there is a lid for every pot. Because even children with Down syndrome get married and they have families. Society doesn't always view them as they're okay, but I look at children with Down syndrome as children with clown faces. I don't mean to be judgmental, but that's the way I look at them. I look at them like little angels with clown faces. And even with them, some of these children, the males become so angry, they can become very violent. And if you say, well, he's had it rough and he's had all these problems or whatever, you're still living in the past. If you can't take care of somebody who's disabled, then you know what? There are places that can. But if you keep going backwards and keep crawling to your best friends from the past or your ex-lovers from the past or ex-husbands from the past or just people who have not been good who at the moment were not good to you, what are you doing? It speaks volumes of what are you doing to yourself. Listen, it's commercial time. So let's go to commercial. And when I get back, I will continue on this topic. Okay? Hello, guys. Okay, now to continue what we were talking about before I take you into a simple meditation. When I talk to you about the past, I don't just mean years. I mean yesterday. Yesterday was the past. Yesterday does not exist today. So whatever I did wrong yesterday that I didn't do today, thank you. Whatever I did yesterday, I cannot be absolved for what I did yesterday. I can only work on today. I can't work on anything else. But you have to always make sure that people, places, and things that have caused you harm, that have caused you animosity, that has caused you heartache, that has caused you tears, you have to let those things go. You have to, in your heart, let these things go, because you only become a prisoner of the same bullshit over and over and over and over again. If your families don't like you, there's nothing that you can do about it. You're not here and you weren't born to be liked by everyone. So sometimes you have to make a choice. What's more important, them liking me or me liking me? So I choose me all the time. So there's a saying that somebody I used to say, which was, if I have to make a choice between you being mad at me and me being happy, you're always going to be mad at me, because I'm always going to choose my happiness first. And that is how I think that my friends, my followers, people that know me, you guys need to realize that we're all here to help each other. You know, one hand washes the other, and both of them wash the face. So the same way we use our hands to wash the face is the way that we're supposed to be with one another. If you cannot cope with someone from your past, whether it be family, friend, or foe, let it go. If you lost your job, stop dwelling on your past job. Focus on what you can do now. If you want to change, well, guess what? You are the master of your own change, but it starts here. It doesn't start in your heart. It starts in your mind. It starts in your mind when you become aware that there's a problem. Why do you want to live in a household where you're always fighting? That's draining as shit. Why would you want to be somewhere where all you do is fight? And the topic for today was supposed to be healthy spirituality. But this exact topic has to do with healthy spirituality. Because we live in a spiritual world and we are spiritual beings. And sometimes we get stuck on stupid because we're so busy trying to be such a good person inside and out that we want to prove to the world, okay, you hurt me and you said these awful things to me and you continue to call me out my name and I forgive you, and you cheated on me, but I forgive you. And I talked about that before too. Forgiveness for what? You know, are they in the confessional asking you for, you know, did you graduate from ministry school and you became a priest where they have to come to you to ask for forgiveness? You're not God. You know, you can forgive yourself for holding on to that bullshit, but you can't keep forgiving someone and keep walking into it because you feel that you deserve that. No one deserves to be slapped. No one deserves to be yoked. No one deserves to be choked. No one deserves to be kicked around. No one deserves to get beat on a regular basis. No one needs to be offended constantly. No one needs to be yelled at all the time. No one needs to be around people that are always going to be insecure and then lie about the reason why they're insecure and they try to blame it on you. You don't need to be around people like that. You know, you have to be smart enough to let shit go. And if you're not strong enough to let it go, then it is not your time to move forward. Then you're going to be stuck. And then when your time is ready and you acknowledge all these things that have gone wrong, then and only then will you be ready to walk away from situations. If your husband's family doesn't like you or your husband's friends don't like you, you don't have to pretend to like them. You don't have to go to their functions and be there because I'm doing it because of my husband. No, do it because you want to, not because you feel obligated because of your partner. No, because most men do not do that for women. They expect women to do it for them, but they don't do it for women. And I say most men, I'm not saying all men. And there's a lot of women out there that are blamed for how they treat their parents, but most of the time they're doing their own thing. Men are responsible for their own actions, just like you, darlings, are responsible for your own actions. Okay? It's 9:39, and I'm going to walk you through this meditation, okay? For you, my fans and my friends that don't know, who may not know who Kuan Yin is. Kuan Yin, in Taiwanese or in China, they say Kuan Yin Shipu Sa. Kuan Yin is she is the female Buddha. She is called Mother of Mercy. And her mantra is Mani Padme Hum. Again, Mani Pad P-A-D-H-I. P-H-D-M-I. I'm sorry. Padme Hum. H-U-M. So it's OM, Mani, MANI, PAHMI, Padmi, Hum, HUM. Okay? So let's begin. Take a deep breath. Find a little corner or chair and just take a deep breath and then hold it for a few seconds, release it. Take another deep breath, as deep as you can. And I want you to hold it. And I want you to let it go. Take another deep breath. I want you to hold it. And I want you to let it go. Now, you can say it, or you can just listen to it and just keep your eyes closed and breathe in slowly and relax. Relax the mind, the body, the soul. The mind, the body, the soul. Okay? Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now I want you to take a deep breath. As deep as you can, and then I want you to release. How? Take a deep breath. Feel your mind getting lighter. Feel your heart releasing all of that negativity that you keep going backwards to. The position that you don't get because you're too busy chasing your tail going backwards and feeling like you're not good enough or waiting for the other shoe to fall all the time. Learn how to tell the universe that you love the universe, that you are sorry for what you've caused the universe, that you live in gratitude for what God, the spirits, angels, guides in the universe continues to give you in abundance, and ask, may I have some more? And it is okay to do so. So again, breathe in. Release light and love to every situation that you had in your past that damaged you, that hurt you, that made you fall, that made you cry, that made you feel inadequate to many people, and the people who were responsible for making you feel that way. Let it go and just release it with light and love. Again. Responsibility for ourselves is exactly that. We are responsible on a mental, on a fundamental, and on a spiritual level. We are responsible for the growth for the growth and for the fall of our spirituality. Doesn't matter how many times you fall. Doesn't matter what people think of you. Doesn't matter what people think that you're not going to achieve. As long as you feed into that and you keep going back, well, so and so said that I was going to fail, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing to show them that I've succeeded. No, you don't show them that you succeeded because of them, because of their ignorance of calling you names and thinking that you're a failure. If anything, you basically, what you need to do is you need to take a deep breath and think about all that damage that they've done and just and as you're doing it in your mind, tell yourself, I'm sending you light and love for the pain you caused me this day. I'm sending you light and love for the pain you caused me this day. I'm sending you light and love for the pain you caused me here, there. I send you light and love for cheating on me, for hurting me, whatever. I send light and love and I release it because I no longer need to hold on to that because I now live in the present. And living in the present is one of the most important things that we as human beings can do and where we need to be. Like I said, you can fall 1,000 times. Doesn't matter how many times you fall. What matters is how many times you pick yourself up. And that is the key to success. If you have financial problems, and I know that we all may have, I know I have, I'm grateful that at this particular moment I don't. But every time, like I said, I spend $200 on something, I get it back. I don't worry about it because I don't make money an issue anymore. You know, I was without a home. I lost it. I had and I've lost and I had and I lost and I had and I lost. For what? At the end result is I am happy. I am happy. I am healthy, as healthy for now as I need to be. And I am lucky to have the people that are in my life, the people who believe in me, the people who help me, because if it were not for the kindness of strangers and the kindness of friendships that have become friendships, I would not be here. I would not be here. Many of you would not be here. So at the end of the day, be grateful for those simple things, because living in gratitude today will line your pockets tomorrow. And it's reality. Even if you're not asking for finances, you can be fine and all you want is love. But guess what? You have to love every part of what is missing in your life. The love of a human being, the love of a friendship, the love of a mother, the father, the love of a sibling, and the love of living well, and the love of money. There's nothing wrong with loving money. But when you obsess over it, that's when you have a problem. So we need money to live. We don't need money to survive. We can survive without money. But we can't live without money. You need money in this society to live. And what I mean by you don't need money to survive, because you know what? How many hundreds of thousands of people are there in the world that are homeless, and they're living however they can. So every little bit of money that they get, if they're homeless and they're not into drugs, goes to food. You know, unfortunately, we live in a society where this society really doesn't look generously on women, and you can end up in the street with your kids, and society doesn't really care, and the government is not really helping you. The government pretends to help you, but they want to keep you stuck so that you're dependent on them. They don't want to show you a trade. You know, most companies today and most schools today, most colleges, you didn't even need to go to college to finish and get a degree to get a job. If you find yourself a career by going to a trade school, you can get a job just as easy and experience. You're wasting $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on getting your master's, your associates, your bachelor's, your master's, your doctorate, and whoever has gotten it to this time, I say, you know what? Hallelujah to you and whoopee and good. You deserve it. But if you are one of those people that cannot go to school because you don't feel it anymore, you know what? There's a lot of programs out there that you can take. So don't feel sorry for yourself. And if you have a problem, like I'm partially dyslexic, so I've never said that out loud. I mean, I tell people that know me, but I don't really say it out loud. So I've never been delayed. It's just that the numbers switch on me, so it takes me longer to do things than normal people when it comes to reading. But can I comprehend it? Yes. Have I learned to control it? No, you can never control dyslexia. You can only learn from it and learn how to manage when the things change on you. But if you have a learning disability, don't ever be embarrassed that you can't learn. You know, kids with autism go to school and they are amazingly bright and they're amazing, loving children. You know, they are amazing, loving people that don't see the world the way that we need to see the world. They don't see the world as being black and white. They see the world with colors. Yeah, Cher has dyslexia. You're right. And you're absolutely right. And Tom Cruise has dyslexia. And what is his name? What's his name? The one from Staying Alive. Also, one of the guys in CSI has dyslexia. One of the actresses in How to Commit Murder. One of the famous actresses. She is also dyslexic. So there are a lot of famous people who are dyslexic, and there are a lot of important people that have learning disabilities and they need a counselor or they need someone to help them. And it's okay to ask for help. Never feel embarrassed to fill out an application or to decide to get another job. Don't ever feel like that you are inferior to them and they are more superior than you. No one is more superior than you. It doesn't matter. Even if the Queen of England has all the, look, the monarchy, just because they are the monarchy doesn't mean that they're smarter than you. They're royals because that is what they are. But are they truly happy? Think about that. Are they truly happy? Do you ever see them smile? Malcolm from Jamal, from the Cosby. Did a show on, and he did a show on it as well. Yeah. So thank you for that, Dr. D. Look, guys, the key to everything in our life, to unfolding our true and full potential, is to let go of the fear. Let go of your past. Let go of the fear of trying something new and shifting your life into somewhere new. And just let go. You know, most of you constantly say that you believe in God, but if you truly believed in God, why don't you walk by faith and not by sight? Stop looking back. Just keep walking by faith and know that everything that you want and you feel that you deserve, it is on its way. And even if it takes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, it's still on its way. Because what it is, years for us is just milliseconds for God. It's a very cruel joke. Because I think God, I used to always say this, God to me is the biggest comedian in the world. Because he does some fucked up shit and we have to deal with it. And at the end of the day, when everything turns out right, we end up laughing. And we're like, thank you, God. But we crack up because we're like, damn, I had to go through all of that. Yeah, sometimes you got to walk through fire and floods in order for you to get where you need to be. Sometimes you have to move because God says he helps those who help themselves. Sometimes you got to be the one to move. And yes, Dr. D, you're absolutely right. What is for you is for you. The blessing that's for you can never be taken away by anyone. What is destined for you is destined for you. If it doesn't happen when it's supposed to happen, you need to sit back and ask yourself, why hasn't this manifested yet? Then look at your surroundings and then look at your habits. And if you were one of these people that go backwards all the time, then you wonder why you're not having the best of life. You're not having a fulfilled life. You're not reaching your full potential because you're too busy walking backwards like a crab. Plain and simple. Some of you are in relationships. I don't know about that, Dr. D. I believe we have the ability to alter destiny. We don't have the ability to change it. Because like you said, you had 2 miracles. Okay. But there are people in the world that have had miracles, and if they were supposed to die and they didn't die yet, eventually they will die because that's what you're destined to do. Maybe you can bend destiny a little bit, because as spiritual beings, we can bend destiny a little bit. We can't completely, you can't really change destiny. You can only kind of like bend it a little bit to our will until we catch up to it. And that's the point I was getting at this moment, that sometimes we're saying, well, I know that God wants this for me. I know that God wants that for me. I know that God. But you know what? What about you? He said he helps those who help themselves. So why should God make the first move when you should be making the first move? You make the move and he follows and he pushes and he guides you. Ask to be led. Ask the universe to lead you to where you need to be. And I say universe. And sometimes people get pissed off. God is the universe. God created everything. God created the good, the bad, the ugly. He created everything. Big asses, flat asses, humongous asses, fake asses now. He created everything. He created the ability for these people to learn these trades. So God, to me, is the universe. So when I say I thank the universe every single day for each and everything that I have, I do. And I live in gratitude every day. Even if I win $1, I'm grateful. And I tell the universe, thank you so much for this $1 that you've given me. I don't need it at this moment, but maybe tomorrow I will need it. So I will put it away. And last but not least, love yourself unconditionally. It doesn't matter how people treat you because they think they may think you're arrogant. It doesn't matter how people make you feel because of the way you dress or the way that you're doing this or the way you're doing that. You need to let that go. It is not your business, nor is it up to you to care about what people think about you. There's a lot of jealousy in the world. Not in every culture. There's a lot of jealousy, and sometimes what you're doing, maybe somebody else was doing, and at that moment you started to do it, and then you found the love for it, the passion. Because sometimes when you do things, you need more than just love. You need passion. Yes, Dr. D, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of people that don't know how to love themselves. But you know what? That comes with practice. Reading books instead of watching TV. Talking to people about when you have a problem instead of holding it in. Being able to chant and do mantras and meditate. Having close relationships with your children and trying to be the best that you can be. And if they can't, yeah. And telling yourself that you love yourself every day. Look in the mirror and just say, I love you, And if you have been causing pain for yourself, then say what I say every morning. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry if I hurt you. I am living in abundance and I am living in gratitude. May I have some more. That is it for today, guys. Namaste. Guys are going into commercial. Love you much. Have a great week and enjoy yourself. And remember to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? Be true to yourself. Yes. Tell yourself that you love yourself until your heart and until you feel your heart opening up. And let go of the rest of the caca that doesn't exist. You guys have a wonderful evening. Be blessed. I send you all light and love. I wish you nothing but happiness and joy. I will talk to you next Monday. Going into commercial.